God bless you. Pastor Daniel Parker here for this week's episode of A Glimpse TV. I hope you're doing tremendously well. So we're still here in the fire station, and I'm having a blast. I mean, it is an amazing thing to see and to just be a part of the details of something this awesome. I mean, it really is. I'm like a little kid. My son and I are here, and we're acting like little kids together. But I want to continue in this theme of fire. I want to deal with now being thrown into the fire. Now, you know, Daniel chapter 3, it talks about a man, three men actually, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And they were thrown in the fire. They were thrown into a situation that they did not ask for. And the reason they were thrown in that situation is because they would not bow their knee to an idolatrous God. King Nebucadnezzar, he was unhappy with them, and he wanted them to bow their knee to his God. But here's the thing. When you are standing for righteousness, when you are standing up for what you believe in and standing up for what God has called you to, the core values and principles of the Christian faith, then sometimes it causes you to be thrown in fire. I don't know if it's on your job or I don't know if it's in your marriage or with your friends or your family or just in the community in general. When you stand up for righteousness' sake, sometimes it will cause you to be sacrificed in the fire, like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown into a scary situation. These three Hebrew boys standing on the faith, standing on the principles of God, what they knew to be right, they were faced with a circumstance that seemed insurmountable. Now, sometimes when you stand up for righteousness' sake, you will stand in a situation that seems insurmountable. But here's the thing, God is able to deliver you from fire. And when you are in the fire, because of Him. When you're in a fiery situation because you have stood up for what you believe in Him or you're doing God's will, here's the promise. There's protection in the fire. Here's the promise. God will redeem you and rescue you from the fire. Here's the promise. The fire will not be able to succumb you. But this is the attitude that these boys had, and I love it. I preach about it all the time. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, just before they were thrown into a fire, which, by the way, was 7 times hotter. 7 times hotter than a normal fire. The king was so frustrated that they wouldn't bow their knee that he said, turn it up 7 times hotter. Even the people that threw them in the fire died because of the extreme heat. But here's the thing. They said this to the king. They said, "O king, our God is able to rescue us in this fire. If you throw us in, He's able to rescue us. But even if He doesn't, He's still God." I encourage you to have that kind of attitude to say, listen, I'm going to stand up for righteousness' sake on my job, in my family, in my marriage, in the community, in politics. I'm going to stand up for righteousness' sake, and I'm going to be and do whatever God calls me to do. And even if it causes pain to come my way, I will do it. My God is able to redeem me, rescue me from the pain. But if He doesn't, guess what? He's still God. Sometimes doing the right thing causes you to go in situations that are painful. But God, He is faithful. I'll see you next week.